Edith LaBelle here at Cage Warriors 108, and I am here with your main event winner and still undefeated, Mason Jones. Mason, another incredible fight to add to your collection. What was the game plan getting into this fight?
Well, I'm looking fresh faced, as you can see, but the game plan was to pick him up striking, slow him down a little bit, and then take him down and get the submission. I knew I could take him down at will. That's why I think towards the end I started to get a bit sloppy with my takedowns because I knew he couldn't really defend them. I was expecting to tie him up and finish him a bit early. The Kimura come. I set the Kimura up. I thought the Kimura was there all day. The timer went obviously to the 30-second mark, and I started to push it a little bit. And didn't step ahead, and that's how we managed to escape. But anyone else, I think they would have tapped. It was a deep Kimura. The rear naked, I just couldn't manage to get there. I think looking back, there's going to be a lot of things I can improve on in that fight, especially the first round when I thought I had him done, and I pushed on and ended up with two lovely cuts. But yeah, it was a good win, dominant win, but not good enough in my books. That should have been a finish, and I should have tied it up.
You do like to add these flashy moves like you did in the first round. Do you feel like you owe it to your fans to make it as entertaining as possible, and not just get in there and get the win?
To be honest, I don't really think of it like that. Like, the things I do look flashy, but they just... people don't expect them, and they're at weird angles. The back kicks I throw are deadly. My girlfriend's a Taekwondo fighter, and one of my striking coaches is a Taekwondo fighter, and they drill in that these back kicks, they carry a lot of power, especially if they're done in a directional sort of way, so that I'm not jumping up, you're jumping in an angle. And they really hurt people. And I know I winded him with that shot, and that was sort of leading up to in the first where I almost put him away. It's just... looking back, and I know when I watch this fight back multiple times, I'm going to see that I should have finished this fight multiple times, and this is why I'm in Cage Warriors, and I'm not in the UFC leagues yet. Like, this is my learning zone, and this is where I'm going to prove that I can be one of the best in the world and the best in the world. Looking back, I just go improve again, and I love that feeling, knowing where you can improve.
And I know you want your shot at the lightweight belt, and there's an interesting fight coming up in Birmingham, October 26th. What do you make of it, of Jai Herbert versus Cain Carrizosa?
I don't know Cain. I asked a few of the UFC guys when I was out in Team Alpha Male about him, and they said he comes from a legit gym, and they're a legit strikers gym. Jai, we've seen, is a legit striker, and I think it's going to be a very tough matchup. Watching that fight, I'm one of the best strikers in this division. When I watch his back, you'll tell that. Obviously, he caught me with two little cuts, but he was done in that first round. I'd love to fight Jai, but like I said, I'm fed up of waiting for that belt. That belt is inevitable. I'm coming for that belt eventually. Dig up the biggest fighter, the toughest fighter you can find, put him in front of me, and I'll show you just who the #1 in this division is. Jai can do what he wants. He can fight who he wants, and he can go off the UFC. Sorry, he can go off the UFC, or he can keep playing with who he wants. I'll just keep beating people, and they can make the matchups they want. I'm just here to beat the best I can.
And also in your division, what do you think of the return of Paddy Pimblett fighting Donovan Desmay, which you fought recently? Do you have any predictions on that fight?
Desmy's obviously, he's been on a win streak since I beat him. Paddy Pimblett's coming off a loss. Neither of these boys are on my radar. Desmy's obviously been coming back, and I think that's a brilliant fight against Paddy. I'm looking at these guys aren't up for me. Desmy, I dominated. Paddy, like I said, is coming off a loss. They're both fantastic fighters, and they both bring a crowd. I want challenges. I want to improve. There's guys who have been in UFC and guys who are in UFC I've looked up to, and I've seen the level they're at, and I can always get better, and there's levels I can be, and I'm better every time. I'm a better fighter, and these better guys bring out the better fighter in me, and I can be better every time. So dig out the biggest fighter you can find. I want the biggest monsters in Cage Warriors, and I'm going to prove that I'm scarier.
And now that Jack has moved on to the UFC, you are like the #1 Cage Warriors Welsh star. How do you like that? How do you like to be like the main event? Can you get used to that?
Well, did you hear him when I walked out? That's definitely the loudest I've walked out to. There's still some seats in this arena we could fill. Definitely, I'm going to work to get that filled, and I want this whole arena filled with people who are going to chant my name, and I think that's hard for him. Alexis walking into there and being stood in that cage while people are shouting out at him, and I love it. I thrive in their atmosphere, so we'll see. We'll see where if I fight you again next, I'm going to fill this arena.
Well, thank you for always putting on a great show.
Thank you for